Hey everyone. Oh, totally forgot to mic up. Hey everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin.
With your host, Tone Vays.
Correct. With your host, Tom Vays, and the lovely Daisy. Daisy and I are out here in the Dominican Republic looking at venues for the next financial summit. And after an entire day of driving all around DR, it's time to have a drink and take a break.
Yeah, it was a long day.
And I'm spending it with you guys. Um, yeah, we started what was a 7:30 pickup, 8 a.m. pickup, 8 a.m. pickup, and it's 5 p.m. here now, and we're literally just got back like half an hour ago. Went to see three venues, and there were like some of them were as far away as an hour and a half from where we're staying. Uh, Good so far. We got three more places tomorrow, and then a couple of places on Friday. So by Friday end of day, we will have the place picked out. Oh, shout out to my Airbnb host here. I guess we can drop some first names. Scott. Scott. Also shout out to Will for recommending me to come here. And thank you guys. Just got delivered right here.
Some guy knocked on the door.
Yeah, somebody knocked on the door. Thank you so much. This is an añejo, a beautiful tequila. There it is. We got the añejo. That's the aging that I like to drink. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Much appreciated for the tequila bottle and the Airbnb we're staying in. Really awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
All right. Let's. Speaking of the financial summit, boom. There it is. We'll have a venue all ready to go, but registration is open, and trust me, the venue is going to be good. We've gotten some. We've had some good ones.
It's going to be hard to pick.
Yeah, there's going to be some hard choices made over which venue we're going to go with, but we will have to make that choice soon. Yeah, so check out the financial summit. This is the Dominican Republic. We know exactly where the Bali one's going to be already, so you can register for either one. Unconfiscatable is, of course, on sale. Daisy will be there. Daisy is the lovely photographer that does all of the pictures at the events. And hey, guys, if you want to support this YouTube channel, please check out the affiliates page and everything else on tonebase.com. Let's go look at the price. Literally just got back. Throughout the morning, we were watching the price of Bitcoin as we're driving in the car with very spotty internet, and we're watching the Bitcoin price crash down below 6,500, and then we're watching it go back up. I wish I could have brought you this video earlier, but this is the earliest I could do it. So here we are. All right, let me situate this right here. How many live viewers we have now? Good, we're up to 400 already. So what are we looking at here? We might as well go straight to the like shorter term time frames. But as you can see, this was clearly a red 5 throughout. As long as we're below the blue line, we are at a red 5. We went all the way down. We made a new low. And I can tell you right now that if we look at the oscillators, well, on a weekly scale, they're not going to be much different. But on a daily scale, there might be some divergence going on. All right. Oh, thank you for the live chat, guys. I see a little tip comment. I'm going to read it real quick. Tone, would you be in cash right now, or would you hold Uber and Lyft? I know it's not financial advice, but just wondering what you would do. Thanks. I'm going to take a look at Uber and Lyft because I was going to do it anyway at the end of the show. At the moment, because I know that the S&P 500 is hitting a daily 9, and a lot of other markets are, at the moment, I would probably rather be in cash across any stock, only because the S&P 500 could be short-term topping. But that's independent of, it doesn't matter what stock it is. But I'll take a look at Uber and Lyft. I was going to do it regardless. Okay, so the weekly chart isn't telling us much. Here's what the weekly chart is telling us. If the candle closes the way it is right now, it's a price flip, which creates, I can make the case that it's good, and I can create the case that it's bad. The fact that the weekly became a price flip, it could set us up for 9 more weeks of downside in the near future, because I'm expecting a weekly 9 before this whole down market ends. I would rather get that weekly 9 4 weeks from now than 12 weeks from now. Because if this closes as a green one, and then the next candle is a red one, and then we start a whole count all over again, that's not going to be good. So there is some bad sign. There is a bad sign if this flips to a green, okay? Because remember, this red 9 never actually finished as a red 9. And that made me more pessimistic that lower prices will keep going, even though people were very angry for that. But guess what? I was right, not only once, but twice. So the way I'm looking at this, now the candle itself is a reversal candle, which is a positive sign. And that's why if the candle actually closes this way, being such an amazing hammer candle, it could set us up for more upside. But the week still has many days to go. Today is Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it is.
Today is Wednesday. I'm limited on battery life, by the way, so this is going to be one of the shorter shows. Today's Wednesday. So we still have 4 days to go. Now, if you ask me right now, do I think this candle will close as a green one or a red 5 by end of week? I'm going to say red 5 by end of week. And for the reason for that is the daily chart. I said the day before yesterday, that I expected this 9 to reverse the price of Bitcoin up to as high as 7,200. Yesterday, when this 9 was closing as a crappy candle, I said there is a good chance it'll reverse tomorrow. And here we are, and we're reversed. Now, if we look at the 12-hour chart, you can pinpoint how the 12-hour chart reversed on a 9 absolutely perfectly. This was the 9 candle reversal. Like I said yesterday, was going to be very, very likely that the 9 was going to reverse us. Okay. I also mentioned that if you get really lucky, the 4-hour will line up, but I think the 4-hour would have lined up with the 8. Came so close. We were on a 7 candle, but that's okay. It was the 12-hour and the daily that were the really important stuff. Okay. I don't like the CMF. I don't like the MACD.
Hey, Ugly's in the chat.
Ugly's in the chat.
You can maybe,
Hey, Ugly. If you want to join, my battery life is limited. I can send you the link. Hold on, Ugly. I'll send you the link real quick. I'm gonna DM it to you personally on Telegram. You got it. Okay. So I expected us to rebound off the 12-hour 9 plus the daily 9. Now, it's very common that you reverse the candle following the 9, which is exactly what happened, and I talked about this yesterday. Now, I only expected a move up to 7,200. That was going to be my high. I lowered this candle a little bit. If you recall, yesterday, I had this candle from here to there, and then a reversal. Yesterday, I moved it over a little bit, okay? So here's my current dilemma. We made the price target unreasonably quick. This could be it. The dead cat bounce could very well be over, okay? So you want to keep that in mind. Keep an eye on in case Ugly wants to join.
Yeah, I'm texting him.
Tone, would love your thoughts on today's tweets from Tour and Peter Brandt. Both spoke on this recent move as being a bounce off trendline support dating back to 2015. I have not seen either of their tweets. I haven't seen anybody's tweets today. I can go and take a look and see what my thoughts are. As you guys know, I make up my own decisions. I trust my own decisions. I don't really like having other traders influence my decisions. The one that comes closest is Willy Woo, but that's because Willy Woo's analysis is so different than my analysis. I would like to pay attention to it. I should pay attention to it more though. Now, we did make a new lower close and we did make a new lower low. I bet you there's divergence. The CMF does not have divergence. The RSI does have divergence. That is a positive sign. The MACD does have divergence. And the BitMEX funding rate's very negative. very negative. That's a bullish sign. Okay, look at this, bullish sign. Okay, and I should probably drop that. Too many things up. Okay, so we almost made it down to this support line, this red support line. This is a downward trending channel. So they're talking about a support line from 2015. I'll have to take a look at that. I'll take a look at their tweets in a minute, but thank you for giving me the heads up on those. So this is the daily chart. At the moment, this is nothing special. At the moment, this is not even as big of a move up as the move we had in late October. On its face, this is nothing to get too excited about. In order for me to get excited about this move, we would have to move beyond $8,500. We have so much resistance. First of all, we have the resistance at 7,200. Then we're going to have the 50-day moving average. Then we're going to have the 128-day moving average. Then we're going to have the setup trend line support, unless we make a new setup trend line, which we did actually. I'm sorry. First, we have the 7,200. Then we have the setup trend line resistance at 7,670. And then we have the moving average, which will probably be at the same time. This 77 area is going to be very difficult to break. But if we get to that area, that's the area of prior high. So it's likely going to break. But then we have the 128-day moving average that is starting to decline quickly. Then we have another setup trend line, and then we have the 200-day moving average. I cannot be bullish in this market until we break the 200-day moving average. I cannot be bullish. I will remain assuming it's a dead cat bounce. And if I miss it, then I miss it. Then I become a bull at $10,000. I don't care. If you have no Bitcoin and you will be upset that you don't have any Bitcoin when it goes to $10,000, that is a problem you have to manage and you have to deal with. I'm telling you guys right now, the low might be in. I don't believe that it is, but it might be in. I wish the low was in. I want to lose my bet to Crypto Man Ran. My bet with Crypto Man Ran still has about 5 months of time left. And Bitcoin needs to fall below 4,500 for me to win the bet. Am I confident I'm going to win the bet? At the moment, I am confident I'm going to win that bet. Okay? Because I think Bitcoin's bearish. But I'm not 90% confident. I'm not 80% confident. I'm not even 70% confident. I'm maybe 60% confident at best that I'm going to win that bet. It's more than 50-50. You know, I'll bet a steak dinner anytime on a coin flip that is 60% in my favor versus 40% in somebody else's favor. I'll bet $100 on that any day of the week. I'm not going to, and I will bet $100 on it over and over and over and over as often as they let me bet it. Okay? That's my view on it. Can this move start off a new bull market to $20,000? Of course it can. Do I think that it will? I don't. I think this is a dead cat bounce. How high can this bounce get? I don't think it's going to go more than 4 days. It's possible that it's already over. If you did not take the bullish trade, oh, Ugly's here. If you did not take the bullish, oh, now I need a speaker.
Talk about his backwardation.
Well, hold on. Ugly can't talk about anything unless I have a speaker to hear him. Can you grab a speaker from that bag? And my battery life is very limited. Shit.
Yeah, but why don't we just put it in the...
Because I don't have a plug nearby and I don't have long cables. So we got an issue here.
We can...
No, I got it.
I don't know where your speaker is. I don't know your backpack.
Well, we might be able to put that.
Yeah, let me look.
Yeah, I'm gonna get crushed. I can. It's. There's no device, an outlet there. Maybe it'll reach. All right, Ugly's here. We should be able to hear him.
Yeah, can you hear me?
My cables aren't that long. Let me try to solve my plug problem. Hold on, guys. And we need light in the room. One there? Oh, that will definitely. Okay.
Everybody has problems.
Can you hear me? Do you want me to talk while Tone's away? Yeah. Hello?
Say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where would it be? Not here.
This is,
I'm looking for a cable and the thing that goes into a wall. And I'm missing both of them.
Go ahead.
oh, okay.
All right, hold on, guys. I gotta figure out the situation here.
Huh? Oh, okay. I think they hear me. Okay. Well, Tom, since you're not here, I'll talk a little bit. Hey, this situation is almost identical to what happened to me at the summit in,
Also, I don't hear ugly, so my speaker may not be working.
okay.
No, the lights work.
I think everybody else hears me.
Okay, I can't hear you yet. Hold on.
Okay.
I need to resolve this problem.
Okay. Hello, 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 hello.
No,
Is
but the light
everybody
is
there?
on the ceiling thing.
Hello. Testing.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
No, I'll find it, Daisy. Don't worry, I'll find it. Ugly.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I hear you now.
Okay.
I will turn off my screen share. I'll let you speak, and I have to find my cord and my outlet, the thing that goes into the outlet.
Oh,
so I can have
okay.
my
Well, put that chart back. If you can, put your chart back. Can you put the chart back?
Oh, yeah. You can just start talking. Hey, Ugly, how are you
Yeah,
doing?
how are you?
Daisy, they can't hear
Hi,
you.
Daisy.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
this is,
Oh, you know what? Take this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the chart. You want the daily chart or the weekly chart?
Yeah, I'll interview
whatever
Ugly.
you had on there before is great.
Wait. Ugly, you want the weekly chart or the daily chart?
Whatever you had on there before, I think that was daily.
Hold on. It was daily. Give me a second.
This is really hilarious because this is almost identical to the situation we had in Bali. Remember when I went to the dinner?
Yeah, that's why we're happy that you're live right now because
Went long again.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember.
Wait, let's hear him.
Yeah.
Did you go long again? Did you make money?
Yeah, I was long going into Bali when we had that sharp sell-off. I think they're at the end of October, and then we went into backwardization, and I said, man, I don't want to be out of this market. So I stepped back in long, and that's when we had the rally from what, 7,400 up to over 10,000. And I've been fooled in this market all the way through here, and I got wrecked again. Last night when we made the new low before 6,500, but it went back into backwardization. So I jumped right back in. So I got a decent, nice position by following money management. It's not near what I had on, but we don't know where this thing's going from here. If right now it's for this thing to continue to be a bull, to turn into a bull market, we have to get over 7,800. And if we don't do that, then we could just, go kaput. And it's not clear, it's not clear to me until we turn up higher, this could just be a bear market rally. But backwardization is telling us, hey, this thing is probably turned. And I think the thing that's different from the other times when we've rallied, we've gone into a contango on the contract that's 3 months out. Now, so far, March has not done that. So as long as we stay relatively close to spot, and this thing keeps marching on, it could turn into a reversal. What I don't want to see is to see the futures go into a big premium until we get substantially higher, so we'll just see. It's got to go through 78, and if we go through that, we'll probably run up to 82, and then I probably want to give some back and see what happens. But Basis caught the bottom again. It just is amazing how I just wrote an article that says, basis is now a timing indicator, and I never considered it one until this year. And I think that's just showing that the market's maturing because so many people are looking at it now, and they're a lot smarter people than me. Any good hedging operation has got to be looking at funding and basis because that's how you have to manage your operation if you're a hedger.
Yeah, and Ugly, we're gonna at the next. You're coming to the next financial summit down in DR.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk more about hedging strategies, and I want to try and get some miners in there so we can teach them how to properly hedge their incoming mining gains.
Yeah, I mean it's really not that hard. They have to know their own, they know their own costs, they know their own financial situation, and hedging is really it's a very personal thing. It's got nothing to do with the market. It's a matter of passing off risk rather than assuming risk. And that's what futures are all for. And right now, as long as these futures hold down close to spot, there's really, I wouldn't want to be hedging here unless we go to a premium. And so as long as this market, doesn't go into much of a contango, then this could be the bottom. But we got to go up higher before it's confirmed. And in my mind, if we rally up now, we've got a great big old W. And I think people are going to have a hard time getting on board because the last time it went up to 10,000, it turned into a pile of shit. And so they're going to be scared to buy it all the way up. And that's usually the time at bottom. So you just take it one day at a time and see what happens.
So, so you think that this could be the final, so you think we're going to go up from here? Do you think this is the final bottom?
I think it's a good, if you catch my tweet, I actually tweeted out the chart, and I'm not good at screen share, but just check my tweet. And I put out a chart that shows the March contract or you can just go to March contract 4 hour on BitMEX, and you can see there's been 4 major times it's gone into backwardization, and it's been a bottom. That's why I stepped right back in after I got wrecked.
It does that every time. 1 second, Ugly. Like Twitter is Twitter is terrible for search functions. Like every time
it's the latest one. Just go to Ugly. So the latest 2 or 3 that I sent out.
I got it. No, but the problem is look, I type in Ugly. I type in Ugly. I go to click your name, and then it. I go to click your name, and then all of a sudden it pops up these stupid things that I always end up clicking on those instead. Okay. I can't. That's the one part about Twitter I can't stand. Every time I search for anybody, I always end up clicking some hashtag instead of that person.
Okay. Well, I have a hard time with all of it. That's dollar cost. So keep on going down.
It's not the last week.
Yeah, keep on going. Not that one. That's kind of a brag. Go down a couple more, and I show the actual thing. I tweeted it out as it was going on. There it is. There it is. That's the one you want to look at.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So if you see those arrows, that's a 4 hour chart. And every time we went into a backwardization on that 4 hour chart, it was a bottom. Now that's what I got wrecked when we were in Bali, but it went into backwardization and that got me back in. Now I wasn't smart enough. I did trim on the way up, but I thought we'd really reversed, and I hit a new equity high, and I really doubled down. I mean, I wanted to turn 5 Bitcoin into 200, but it didn't work. And so I actually people that follow me, my equity is at one time I was up almost 40 Bitcoin, and now I'm just up 32. So my equity has been going down slightly, but by managing everything correctly. I was able to step back into the market after I got wrecked last night and got in right there at almost at the very bottom.
Let's be careful with the word wrecked. Okay, you use the word wrecked very generously, right? Your wrecked is losing, let's say, 2 to 3% of your trading account. Not
Right.
2 to 3%.
It's not even, yeah, right. It's not even, I don't risk 5% of my net worth. I try and risk, under 5% or less of my trading account. Right.
Right. So guys, when you hear Ugly got wrecked, he lost like 3 to 5% of his account. And very often he goes back in right after that with at least the same amount, and usually, walks away like a bandit.
I usually cut back, and that's what I've been doing. Like my equity has gone down. So I was trading with, I put in an extra 2 Bitcoin. After my equity dropped about 5, I put in an extra 2, and then I put in 1, and this time I just put in 0.06 because I want to lock in 32 Bitcoin profit.
Right. So again, like for the year, Ugly started with 2 Bitcoin early this year. You were up 40 off of 2, and now you're only up 32.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
And so that's how so I call getting wrecked, but you don't get wrecked. That's the whole thing. Guys, the most important thing I teach is how to manage your funds. And it's really hard to do because I didn't want to cut back. I really wanted to jump in there and build this position. But, money management says, no, it's not the prudent thing to do. And so, now I've got a position. I actually had just, a little over half a Bitcoin, and it's almost 2 Bitcoin now since I bought the thing right. So, I mean, that's the way it works. That's just the way the market works. And so far I've trimmed twice, and I still maintain the position. We'll see where it goes. As long as this futures does not go into contango immediately, we need to get through 70. I think it's 77 or 78. That's a 2-week high, and then I think you've turned the trend. I don't look. Hopefully we don't have a sharp, 3,000 point rally all at once, because that's not real healthy. But it would be real healthy to go up, to 82 or 83 and then have a little correction. That would be fine. But, we just have to see that there's a difference this time, though, that people need to notice. And to me, the difference is the contango is the March futures is staying close to your spot, which makes it's really, and plus the smart money that was hedging their operations last June, they're able to cover this stuff. And, they made out like a gangbuster because they locked in a profit for the year. And that's why I said, even if Bitcoin goes down to 3,000, a hedger is protected. And so to me, that rally, that contango that we had last June makes Bitcoin very solid. And also people have to understand, because it's maturing, you're actually seeing you can do things in Bitcoin that are impossible to do with shitcoins. It's impossible. A hedging operation is necessary particularly if we're going to be on a Bitcoin standard. And I do distinguish between, the Bitcoin standard and Bitcoin, which I'm working on that now. But the hedging is a vital part. Futures are created not for the speculator, but for the hedgers. And if you're in the business and you're not using the markets as a hedge, now, unfortunately, I'm really not hedging because I have this public account. I want people to see how to trade. And so I'm not really hedging my net worth or my portfolio. It's literally a trading account, which is fine too, because I'm comfortable with it. And I don't need to be trading. I mean, I can retire if I want to, but I enjoy it and I'm having lots of fun. And so that's where we're at. And I felt very fortunate. I was able to pull the trigger. That's one thing I'm good at. There's 2 things that I think that make a good trader. And first thing is money management. And the second thing is the ability to pull the trigger. But most traders, particularly the ones that lose, they have the ability to pull the trigger, but they don't manage their funds. The most important thing is manage those funds, and then you can learn how to pull the trigger, and the technical analysis comes after that.
All right, Ugly. Thanks for all that. I just want to reply to a comment real quick from the live show. Someone in the live chat says, Tone, you are crazy if you don't think any decent miner doesn't have traders on board managing their risk already. I guarantee you that they don't. I know for a fact that they don't. I have spoken to some miners. that feel they have a decent sized mining operation and they are totally clueless on how to manage the risk of their mined Bitcoins.
Yes,
So
I
it's a
agree with
fact
that.
They don't.
Yeah, I'll give you an example because I used to be a commodities broker. And so I was familiar in the livestock business, for example. But I guarantee you the smart guys, the guys that are around a long time, they do. But most, for example, cattle feeders, most people in the business, they don't. And they aren't properly, and you got to be real careful because if you're hedging, you really need to have a bank behind you. And I've seen
That's
it.
not even, Augie, that's not even the biggest problem. If you are a professional miner or a pig farmer or whatever, a soybean grower, you have absolutely no clue how to use the futures markets. And now you need to find a good trader that understands how to manage that risk. And you have no freaking expertise how to find that trader before he wrecks your entire mining farm. So as a small or a medium miner, you are almost better off not even hedging, because if you pick the wrong money manager, you have no farm.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, we just ran into that with you know who not long ago. So, at any rate, that's
So
geez.
trust me, this is a challenge. Like if you have no expertise in trading, you have no expertise at picking the right money manager either. This is a big challenge. It's almost like saying, Tone, I guarantee you everyone that has a good job knows how to manage their retirement money or knows how to pick the right money manager. No, they don't. They have no freaking clue.
No, that's exactly true. But the smart ones do, and the large ones do. You know, like if you go into the average soybean grower doesn't, but I guarantee you, Cargill, you know, knows what they're doing, or you know, in the hog business, it's Heinhold. So if you're a large commercial user and you have to have the proper financing, which incidentally, to have the proper financing in Bitcoin, you really need to have a Bitcoin banker. And I see that's one of the future uses. These guys that are whales, they could be the banks for legitimate hedgers. And I think that's the big opportunity coming in the years ahead.
Okay, hey, one more thing. So people asked me to take a look at Peter Brand's tweets, and people asked me to look at Peter Brand's tweets and also Tour de Meester's tweets, because they said both of them said that Bitcoin is bouncing off of a 2015 trend line. I'm looking at Peter Brand's tweet, and I don't like to disagree with Peter Brand, but I have to disagree. I could get scolded for this, and I'm going to try a new feature here. I'm going to hit the annotate button, and I'm going to hit the draw button. And we're gonna make it, I'm gonna make mine blue to contrast. And I'm gonna use a pen. The reason why I don't like this trend line, and it's a trend channel, but trend line, is because it's missing a lot of stuff. I wanna draw my trend line, and it's not exactly a straight line, this way. And now, by me utilizing this low, hope you guys can see it. I should make it thicker. Let me make the line thicker. Yeah, I want to utilize this low and also this area and this area. So I want to connect these, okay? And if I connect these, all of them, my trend line starts to look something like this. And instead of this trend line being support here, my trend line is resistance there, okay? Now you can draw another trend line the way Peter Brand has it, but I don't like this large space being unaccounted for. And if we bounce, I can't assume that we're gonna bounce hard. Now he did draw this before the bounce. We already bounced hard, but this bounce needs to be sustained. If this bounce is sustained going forward, if we go above $10,000, I will then assume this trend line, because now my new trend line has one, that's two, and that is three, but only if it bounces. I would not have drawn, I mean, I had other reasons for a bounce here, right? You, Ugly, you thought it was going to bounce here because of basis and contango, correct?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
and you're not, and that time, and the TD indicator was also a big help. That
And
just
the
said,
TD,
hey,
right.
keep, you know, it wasn't all by itself. It was not all by
And
itself.
by the way, I know you were a little upset at the TD indicator in Bali, but hey, it did its job. When you look back at it, it did its job.
No, it does. I mean, it's something you can't ignore. It's just,
Right.
it's a rough thing. Because, you know, you don't know, first of all, it can fool you because, you know, a one can turn into a green one can turn into a red one or red two. And it helps that you put that little indicator on so you know if it hit a nine. But even then, you can have these long nines that you're going to get wiped out if you wait for the whole nine, you know.
Yep.
So it's you don't trade it all by itself. You don't trade any of these things all by themselves.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the key.
I
There
got
was a good article that I retweeted. I forgot what it was on, but they mentioned a guy by the name of Thompson, I think, and
Yep.
Willie Woo, and they both, you know, of the same opinion I am, that this thing's getting ready to, you know, it should be a bottom here. So, and they're two good analysts. And now, I retweeted it. I forgot what it appeared in, but I thought it was such a good article, and you know, because they're two respected analysts. But remember, analysts are not traders either. I too have a big respect for Willie Woo. I don't know if he trades or not, but I know he's an analyst.
He does. He trades, but on a longer term basis. He doesn't trade like you or I would be. He trades more as a position trader than a swing trader.
Well, I consider myself a position trader, but I kind of do both. You know,
I consider you more as a swing trader. But yeah.
Okay. I don't, the swing trader to these guys that get in and you know, short-term day trade. And
Oh, no. But day trading is different, right? To me, a swing trader is someone that is 2 weeks to 2 months.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would say that's true.
Yeah. To me, a swing trader is 2 weeks to 2 months. Okay. So we got a couple of other quick comments. Someone is asking, how did Ugly turn 2 Bitcoins into over 30? Well, if you want to know, you have to sign up for Ugly's newsletter. You have a link right here on the Tone-Based affiliate page, and he will send you all of the information from the entire year of every trade he's made. Correct, Ugly?
Right. You get a CSV file that shows every trade that I've made since, I think, February 4th on BitMEX, and it's the only account I've traded. And we have a new thing we're working on called an equity app that you can actually load my thing in and see how it works. You know, the people get the wrong information and say, well, what am I supposed to do with it? Well, it's kind of up to you, you know. I don't know what I'm not giving.
Let me preface this. If you don't know how to trade and you sign up for Ugly's newsletter thinking you will also turn 2 Bitcoin into 32, I can guarantee you're going to lose your 2 Bitcoin. This is not for beginners. This is for people that understand trading. You have to understand a basic to intermediate trading. Like if you have never traded before, it's like, hey, if I follow this race car driver around the track, I will, you know, finish the track really quickly. No, that's not exactly how it works. If you follow a race car driver around the track, you better be close to a race car driver. Otherwise, you're going to die.
Well, I would put it this way. I if you're a new trader, I will keep you out of trouble because my emphasis is money management. But there's no reason to subscribe to my newsletter. You can pick it all out of Medium articles or off of my website free, unless you have a hodl. Once you have a hodl of 2 or 3 Bitcoin, hey, then what I teach and how to trade is useful. But for those that are just starting their hodl, hey, you need to get your hodl. You need a dollar cost average and get yourself into the market. I don't have any problems recommending right now that people should have between 5 and 15% of their net worth into Bitcoin, because the underlying fundamental, it's not even Bitcoin, guys. It's we got problems with our money, and that's the underlying fundamental. So.
Oh, so Tour basically. That's all right. So Tour retweeted Peter Brandt. But Tour also tweeted out something of his own. What was the comment on this? I didn't read it. Tour said, we've now twice tested the support level. What a thriller. Look, guys, I'll admit, this looks good. This looks like a good bounce. I still have a couple of fundamental problems with this. First of all, we are too close to a double bottom, and I don't like double bottoms. Second, I need this to break above the top of the channel. Until this breaks, look, this also looked like a good bounce.
Yeah.
And so did this.
Yeah.
And it got rejected, and it made new lows.
Yeah.
Unless this bounce makes it above $10,000, I will continue to assume that we will make new lower lows. Maybe not lower than 3,000, but I will continue to assume that we will go lower than 6,400 before the halving. The market has to prove to me that it is not going to do that. Now, it's possible that once we hit, let's say 4,000, let's just pick a number out of a hat here, right? Let's say we hit 4,000 around March. I can then be bullish from that point on at 4,000 forever. But sitting here just around 7,000, I am not bullish yet. The market has to prove it to me, because we still have a lot of time before the halving. And everyone is now saying, Tone, how come you don't talk about things like Tether? How come you don't talk about things like, what was that scam? OnePlus scam, selling all their Bitcoins, because it's irrelevant to me. I don't care why it's going down. I just see the chart and I see the trend. It's irrelevant to me why that's happening. I don't care how many coins OnePlus has scammed from people. I don't care how many coins they still have to sell, because I don't have the time to do that kind of deep fundamental analysis, assuming I even have the right data. Okay, so I ignore all that and I trust the charts. I trust the TA. The TA going up to 14,000 made no freaking sense. That's why I was waiting for a secondary low. Now, is the secondary low in? We hit 6,400. Is that enough? It's possible, but I believe we're still going to go lower before the halving. I don't know if Ugly agrees with that, but that's my current view. That view can change tomorrow, but the current view tells me that there is a greater than 50% chance. It may not be a lot greater, but I still believe there is a high probability, and by high, I mean greater than 50%, that the low is not in. The low of the current downward channel is not in. We didn't even hit the bottom of the channel, right? Because the bottom of this channel is sitting right there, according to whatever chart Tour has. And if I go to my own chart, the bottom of that channel is sitting right there. We didn't even hit it. We didn't hit it. I think we'll hit this bottom one more time. The longer we delay it, the lower it'll be. It's very possible we can hit it all the way out in March. I have no idea.
Well, you know my opinion, and that is I don't know. I really don't know. Either one, the whole key is in trading is you don't rule out either one. That's the whole thing. I don't know if this is the bottom, but there was a situation here where the risk was extremely low and the likelihood of reversing was extremely high. So
I agree. We were oversold. Multiple metrics said it. I was using the sequential, you were using basis, and we were both right on this current bounce.
Yep.
We're now back above 7,200. But we better get above all of this resistance before I become a bull for 2021.
Right. What I wrote was I'm anticipating, it hasn't happened yet. Market has to go up to where you're saying for that flying W to be completed. If we get that and we get above that 10,000 spike that we have a huge, what I call a flying W, which is going to be that's what is required. Look, if we're going to 100,000 or 200,000, we got to get above 10,000 first. So you have plenty of time to get on board. And it's not confirmed until we take out those old highs. But as a trader, there are opportunities that you can jump in and, hopefully I'll have a position on before that happens. I like to be in a position, before the breakouts occur, whether I'm long or short. And so that's kind of the game I play. So I was looking to buy, and I wasn't going to do it until that thing went into, a backwardization again on the March. And when that did, I said, that's it. I got to jump back in. I just had to. I had the 9 was there. You had the double bottom. The pattern has been, we've been taking out the previous low barely and then reversing. It did it again. So, and patterns change, but right now, everybody sees the same pattern, and some people just react and some people don't. And so, I pulled the trigger, and that's why I trade.
Yeah, we got another question on. We got a comment on money management. I can answer that. Someone says, Ali keeps talking about money management, but he always goes in 10x with no stops. Well, that's because he only puts into that, like, that's not all of his money, right? Like, here's your money. I've done the same thing with the trade in that crushed my entire BitMax thing, right? So you only put in, like, I don't like exchange risk. I will use the liquidation point of liquidating my entire account as a stop loss. So let's say I have 10 Bitcoin to trade with. Instead of having 10 Bitcoin in my account and trading with 1 Bitcoin, I will trade with 0.1 Bitcoin at 10x. Right. And I will only have 0.1 Bitcoin in the account. That doesn't mean my trading account is 0.1. My trading account is 10 Bitcoin. But I only put in 0.1 Bitcoin into BitMax because I don't want to risk 9.9 Bitcoin at 10x. I will then leverage that 0.1 Bitcoin at 10x.
Let me explain through the actual trading account that you'll see if you pull out my CSV files and go analyze it. Basically, I hit a new equity high. I caught the move up from under 74 up to 10,500, and I trimmed. I sold some over 10,500. I sold some Bitcoin. My problem is I started buying it back too quick because I thought we'd reverse. So I risked my equity high went to about 38, and I risked, or 40, and I risked like 5 Bitcoin. So I took it down to 35, and I lost it all. I got stopped out on this on going down. Next time I didn't put in 5, I just put in 2, and I got wrecked again. And then I put in 1, and I got wrecked again. Well, this time I only put in a half a Bitcoin. Well, this time I'm not wrecked. So what most people do is they increase their trading. As I lose equity, I decrease my trading because it's, you can turn a half a Bitcoin into 20 Bitcoin. You can do it. The problem isn't doing that for most people. They've done it one time or another. The problem is, you don't want that equity downturn. They give it all back and then lose more to boot. And that's the problem. And you know what? I don't know where the market's going, guys. I'm the last one I said. Don't even ask. If you want to ask me if I'm long or short, I'll tell you. But I don't know where the market's going. I really don't. So, well, I'll leave it at that. Today was a pretty, this is a pretty exciting turnaround, and we'll just see where it goes. Yeah, I mean, it's not confirmed until we take out that 10,000 high. We do that, then we're on our way. But
yeah, and the shit coins like Ethereum are just following Bitcoin, so they're not very interesting.
They're all losing according to Bitcoin too. That's the other thing too. I mean, I was in that one, right, and covered way too early again. I got out of but I've made as much money being long Bitcoin, short Ethereum as anything this last year. So
I do want to take a look at the S&P 500, guys. We are on a 9 daily, so this is why I would be a little careful about being fully invested in the S&P 500. This is not a scary candle. The market is already closed. Today is Wednesday. I would buy the green 2 going above a green 1. If tomorrow is an up day and then Friday is an up day, I would be comfortable bullish S&P 500 into the weekend. But right now, the 8 candle is a doji reversal candle. The 9 candle is not scary, but because it's a 9, I am very cautious. The weekly S&P is still strong, but next week there is a weekly 9. I would not mess with the stock market at the moment. There's also lots of major companies that are hitting their 9s as well. If we look at Apple, for example, Apple is on a daily 9 with a very scary reversal candle. I would not be interested in holding Apple right now. I would be totally getting out of Apple right now. It is way overextended. It is in an awesome bullish market, but it's overextended. I expect it to pull back at least 1 to 4 candles. Okay, that's the daily Apple. If I look at weekly, it's on an 8. So next week, that is a double 9. A double 9 next week. That's concerning. I would not want to be in Apple right now. Apple monthly. It had its 9 last month, so monthly is still kind of okay. But we still have a little time to go here, and it can still reverse the rest of this week over the next 2 weeks. Okay, so I would be a little careful here with Apple with its daily 9 now and weekly 9 next week. What's another stock I wanted to look at? I wanted to look at Lyft. Well, Lyft isn't really bothering me right now, but the overall market is bothering me, so I would not want to be holding Lyft. Uber. This is, by the way, this is also as a swing trader. As a position trader, I would probably be okay holding the long. But as a swing trader, I want to be in cash across the market because of the daily 9 on the S&P and other assets. There was another one, BBY, I believe, Bed Bath and Beyond. BBY. That is not a daily 9. That is a very bullish looking chart. I would be very optimistic this name. It looks like it finally made its low. This thing's been going down forever. Wow, that's the daily chart. It's been going down forever. I think it's finally ready to go back up, but retailers don't do very well in the age of the internet. So they're in the wrong industry, right? I'll look at that. They're in the wrong industry. So we'll see what happens. I want to look at the weekly chart. Looks great. Looks like this thing is ready to go, right? It's got 5 more weeks of upside according to sequential, and it just kicked off its daily 2 above a green 1, even though the 1 was very, very hefty. If I was holding this stock, I would keep holding it. Would I jump in on it now? I don't know. I prefer the more up-to-date sector than a retailer that had its heyday 20 years ago. So something like Tesla, for example. something like Tesla is always more interesting to me. I love this. Okay, beautiful. Again, the only concern I would have with Tesla, there is a 13 coming in a couple of days on the daily, coming from this 9 here, and there is another 13 count, which makes it more bullish. And the weekly chart is looking good as well. So I have no concerns about Tesla right now. It's broken out to new all-time high. Anyone that thought Tesla was going to die here is insane. Okay, I mean, I could not be more bullish Tesla at the moment. Is this the right time to buy Tesla? Who the hell knows? The right time to buy Tesla was a hell of a lot earlier, before it just went up 100% or wherever the hell it did, right? Like when you were late to the party, you know, I'm not saying, oh, that's 87% up. I'm not saying this was the time to buy. Nobody knows, right? But this certainly was, okay? This breakout should have been, as an active trader looking at Tesla, the breakout above this high should have been bought, okay? If you're gonna buy Tesla right now, it can correct 25% tomorrow, because now it's overextended. Would I be rushing into Tesla now? No. I would admit I missed the trade, and I would wait for a buying opportunity. If the buying opportunity never comes the rest of my lifetime, and Tesla becomes the biggest company in the world, I will find other opportunities. There will always be a new biggest company in the world, okay? I never, ever, ever regret not getting into a stock. What I regret is getting into a stock at the wrong time, okay? You either should have it to begin with, or if you're gonna try to time the market, I wouldn't be buying right here. Unfortunately, as bullish as I am, I have to admit that I missed it. I've been talking about throwing my retirement account into Tesla, and at the end of the day, I was too busy to open my retirement account to go into Tesla. Would I do it tomorrow? No. I'm admitting that I missed it, and I will wait for a pullback.
Yeah, I just wrote about that.
Maybe I'll open my retirement account on time next time, instead of, you know, running around looking at venues for a summit.
I just wrote about that in the last newsletter. Don't cry over spilt milk. You can't cry over that stuff, because if you do, it'll drive you crazy and you'll try and make it back. You can't revenge trade, guys. You can't revenge trade. Every day is a new day. So, hey, do you need me for anything else, or can I let you go?
No, that's it. I'll let you enjoy your long. We're hitting 73. Yeah. We will see how high this goes. I will take a look at one last thing. I will take a look at the daily Heikin-Ashi. People love the Heikin-Ashi chart with sequential. And look, there, on a Heikin-Ashi, there was a beautiful 9 here. There was a sequential 13, and there was a 9 right now. So the Heikin-Ashi charts have done very, very well with sequential.
What's the time frame? What's that time frame? Is that daily? Okay.
Daily. That's daily. I'm gonna let you go, but before I do, hey, one more time, we're gonna do a plug for the financial summit that Ugly is a huge part of. Tyler was supposed to be a huge part of that. I can't believe, yeah, I can't believe Tyler never got to see the first financial summit. It's gonna be great. Ugly will be there. Many others. I gotta talk to all of these people from Bali to see how many are gonna come back to the Dominican Republic. But I think all of them are coming back to Bali. I mean, Bali was just incredible. I got my work cut out for me to make sure that the Dominican Republic comes close to what happened in Bali, and we are doing our best. We're out here, Daisy and myself, looking at the right venues.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait. Never been to the Dominican Republic. I'm glad you made that choice. I've always wanted to go there.
Hey, you're going to be translating. Your Spanish is better than mine, so you're going to be translating.
You were to go,
really. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go, guys. Thanks for having me on. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we're going to head out to dinner. And hey, the Bitcoin rally looks good. You know, warned you guys that there'll be a rally. I don't think the bull market is here yet, but it could be. We'll see what the charts say tomorrow.
Yep, just let it ride for now. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, I'm going to let Ugly go, and I'm going to wrap this up as well. Bye, Ugly. That's it, guys. Actually, that's it for us.
Let's go to dinner.
Yeah, check out tonevays.com, check out Unconfiscatable, and check out the Financial Summit. Ugly is there for a whole week. You can pick his brain on how he managed to turn 2 Bitcoins into at 1.40 and now, unfortunately, only 32. All right, guys. I will talk to you all on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Saying goodbye from DR. Talk to you all later.